Hi guys, so I've come today to Preston Mill, which is another great Outlander filming location. Now, as many of you will know, this was where Jamie famously had to hide in the mill lade to escape from the Redcoats. So what was happening was that the mill here, Preston Mill, was actually shown in Outlander as the mill at Lallybroch, and Jamie was unhappy with his bread, and it was due to the machinery not working. So he went in to try and repair the machinery, and the Redcoat soldiers suddenly appeared on horseback here. Claire was standing here, and Jamie famously went down under the water to hide from the Redcoats and avoided capture. So this all took place here. It's an absolutely wonderful setting out in the countryside, just beside a lovely village called East Linton. And it is one of these great filming locations, and certainly one you should try and come and see.
Okay, let's start as we usually do with some of the basics. So, just where is Preston Mill? So, here it is. It's in the beautiful county of East Lothian, which is over on the east coast of Scotland, and it's very well known, a county very well known for beautiful beaches, golf courses, lovely scenery and nice villages. So Preston Mill itself lies on the outskirts of this lovely conservation village that's called East Linton, and it's only about 24 miles from Edinburgh. Preston Mill is the oldest mill in Scotland, and there has been a mill on this site since the 16th century, since the late 1500s, although it has been rebuilt a couple of times. And amazingly, the mill was in constant use right up until 1959. And it was mainly used to produce oatmeal. It ground oats to make oatmeal. Now, Preston Mill is made up of 3 buildings. There's the one that's called the kiln, that's the one on the left, the conical shaped building. And then to the right hand side is the mill itself, with its water wheel over on the right hand side. And behind them lies the miller's house, where the miller would live. And as mills, many years gone by, were very prone to going on fire, they always made sure that the miller's house was kept completely separate, which was probably a good idea. As you walk down the lane to the mill, your view is dominated by this sort of crazily shaped kiln building, which almost looks as though it's been built for some kind of film set. So the kiln is where they would dry the oats. There was a fire in the bottom of the kiln, and then above it the oats would be spread out and be dried, and the smoke would go up through the conical roof and through the chimney at the top, which would swivel in the wind so that the rain was never coming in and getting in and making the oats that were lying out there to dry damp in any way, shape or form. To the rear of the kiln lies the mill itself, and the kiln is connected to the mill with a short bridge so that the dried oats can be taken from the kiln through to the mill where they're going to be ground. And the way that they're ground is by using this water wheel to create the power that will turn the large millstones, so that there are large millstones, the oats are placed on that, and the power that comes from this water wheel turns the wheel, the stones, and they ground the oats down into a finer meal that we can use. The water in the lade now flows away from the mill, heads down towards the trees here, and will eventually rejoin the river. Now there's a lovely walk goes down here, and as you can see the daffodils are out, and there's lots of lovely wildlife to see and listen to, so it's well worth having a little walk here. So this is the lade back up at the mill, and you can see the power that's going through there. And this is the actual stretch of water that Jamie was in, minus most of his clothes. To get the lade working correctly is no easy feat, and requires a lot of engineering skills which have been around for centuries. And so let's go back upstream a little bit here, and you can see what they've done here is build a weir, what's called a weir, which controls the river, and they're going to use the weir to divert some of the water. You can see here some of the water now is coming off into the Lade. So any excess water will flow through to the river. Coming down the Lade now, they've got the very first sluice gate, so this will control the amount of water that goes through. So they can raise or lower this gate to allow greater or less water coming through, because remember, the level of water will fluctuate quite a lot. So the water then flows on from this sluice gate and then arrives in the mill pond. So this is the main sort of collecting area for the water now, and it will then go on through another sluice gate. So this is the Millstream sluice gate, and so another gate designed specifically to control the flow of water. As you can see here, this gate can be manually raised up or down to allow more or less water through, as is required. The water flows under the bridge, and at this point the miller can decide, does he want the wheel turning or does he not? So the simple mechanism is that piece of wood there, it's turned to the right now, so the water goes to the right, it doesn't turn the water wheel. If you pull it back, the water will flow straight ahead and the wheel will turn. So you can see the power and how well this is done, and this is the actual stretch of water that Jamie was in. Regrettably, the mill wheel at Preston Mill has suffered some damage and isn't working at the moment. And the National Trust for Scotland, who operates Preston Mill, recently launched an appeal to raise £12,000 that would allow them to restore the wheel. And so thanks very much to everybody that donated to that, because within 3 weeks they had received the total amount needed to repair the wheel, and so repairs are going in hand now. A special thanks, I think, should be given to Barbara Spittler from Nantucket in Massachusetts, who matched dollar for dollar of all donations up to $5,000. So that obviously helped tremendously. So again, well done to everybody that donated to that appeal, and it'd be lovely to see the mill wheel back in operation. Although when that will be, I don't think they're too sure, as obviously a lot of work has to go into now the restoration and the repair of the wheel. Preston Mill is a truly great Outlander filming location, because this is an authentic historical building that has stood here since the 1500s, and quite amazingly was still producing oatmeal in 1959. So I think it's an amazing structure with such quirky little details that it is ideal for Outlander's use, because really, as I said at the start, you'd almost think it had been built specifically as a film set. So it's definitely a site you need to come and see, and if you catch it on a nice day, it's a lovely place to sit in, to listen to the wildlife and to enjoy being here. If you're coming to see Preston Mill, then if at all possible, please try and take some time out to have a look round the nearby village of East Linton. Now this lovely conservation village has such beautiful streets and architecture and character that it's a real sort of joy to visit. East Linton sits on the River Tyne, and it originally was called Linton, and they think that name came from the word for a waterfall. Linn is the word for a waterfall, and I think that's where the name Linton came from. It's now called East Linton to distinguish it from another attractive small town called West Linton, which is just to the west of Edinburgh. So East Linton developed quite a bit because they built a bridge over the River Tyne back in 1560, and that was really when it started to grow. And you can see that from the architecture of the streets, it's got that lovely Scottish architecture which a lot of us really like. The church tower dates from 1631, and as you saw there, there's lots of old attractive historical buildings in the town. Like most conservation villages, I would say, you'll also find lots of nice coffee shops, and also nice pubs. Now, I was very fortunate to have my lunch when I was here filming at the Crown and Kitchen, where Billy Robertson, the landlord of the pub, and his staff looked after me tremendously well, and I really enjoyed my lunch here. So if you were in East Linton, this might be a place that you might want to think about coming along to. It certainly was very nice, and I was very impressed with their beer garden. So if it was a sunny day, I could imagine this would be very nice, sitting out here enjoying your visit to East Linton. So folks, I hope you've enjoyed this little video and background information about Preston Mill and East Linton. As ever, if you have enjoyed it, I would really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up, a like, and share it with your friends. So until the next time, I just want to wish you all the very best from Scotland.